Well, it's a little cooler than it has been. We actually got a little rain yesterday evening. It was a pretty good rain, really. I don't have a rain gauge out, so I don't know exactly how much we got. But this morning, the ground is still a little muddy, so that's a really good sign. My pastures have really been hurting for some rain. So today, before it gets any hotter, I think in the last video, I was trimming feet on the ewes, moving them to another pasture. We need to go over and check on them. They probably need to be moved to another little paddock. But I also need to get the rams up. I've got 3 rams out here in the field running together. I need to get them up and get their feet trimmed up while I've got things set up for it. And then we need to have a little discussion about my summer pasture. What I've done, why I've done it, and how it's working out. So that's what we're up to today. Here, sheep. Here, sheep. Here, sheep. These boys don't really know to come when I call them like the ewes do. Come on, boys. You gonna make me walk all the way out there? Here, sheep. Here, sheep. Here, sheep. There you go. One of you figured it out. Now 2. Come on, boys. Come on, boys. Let's come on out here. Go that way. There you go. Good job. You like it millet pretty well, don't you? Psst. Come on. Come on, I got 2 gates open for you. Take your pick. No. What you gotta be difficult for? You don't know how this works. Go on. Go on. Psst. Psst. Hey. Get in there. I'm gonna have to push you. There you go. Actually, your all's feet look pretty good, but we'll run you through here anyway. Psst. Go on. Psst. Psst. And we can get you moving. There you go. There you go. There you go. Once we get you moving, get the feet moving, then decide where. Psst. I'm gonna try to clean you up a little bit too. All right, good job, buddy. Good job. You just jumped right in there, didn't you? Might have to adjust that head gate. Get your big old head in there. Well, let's see if we can work a little smarter. You want a bite? Huh? Give you a bite so you learn what it is when you get up here. had you, didn't he? Too slow. Lord. See? These boys are too big for me to fight. So I just got to try to work a little smarter. All right, boy, here we go. Just a little more. It's easier on me. You really ain't too bad. You're really not too bad. Settle down, settle down. Just a minute, buddy. About done. There we go. Feet back in there. Get your feet back in there. Well, here, let's unsqueeze you. Feel like you got some room. There you go. Get stood up there. Now you can go. You gonna go right in there for me? Come on in there. Go ahead. Come on in there. There you go. You're a little more cautious, aren't you? Not quite as gullible, are you? The issue is if I get behind him and just try to push him through, first thing he's going to do is throw his head up. When he throws his head up, it's not coming out through this head gate. There we go. Now I think we got you. Yeah. How hard are you going to be to turn? You definitely got to be ready for them feet to move. They're quick. Pretty quick. Feet under you. Standing here. Oh, you're gonna be a booger. Let's start with this. Well, I said I was going to talk about the summer pasture and get across this ditch here. This pasture here is actually doing pretty good. I did fertilize it this spring. It's been a couple of years since I fertilized pasture, but I'll tell you what I'm trying to do is this. See this nice, tall, green, lush grass? I would love to kill that stuff. I hate it. That stuff spreads like wildfire. It's a grass called nimblewheel, and it just does not, well, nothing will eat it. Sheep won't eat it, cows won't eat it. Everybody's having a problem with it. People at the universities are somewhat puzzled about how to get rid of it. You can see it over here. Let me walk over this way. This is it here. And we maybe get a better view of it. I don't know. This stuff grows like crazy. It's a perennial. This is what it looks like when it's a little younger. It spreads a little bit like a crabgrass or a Bermuda grass, and it will just take things over. This particular spot was really bad with it. You can see how bad it is underneath this shade tree. Where the sheep had been laying under here, they pretty much killed everything else out. That gave it a good opportunity to get started. So what I did, this little patch here, it's about a 1/4 acre. I worked it up. I probably should have sprayed the nimblewheel with some Roundup or something, but I didn't. I disked it up. I run a tiller over it, worked it up, and that really knocked the stuff back. And my intent was to get this pearl millet growing in here instead. And as you can see, there's a spot of the nimblewheel right here at the edge of where I worked this up. There's a little more in there, so there's some in here, but it was just as bad there as it is over here. So I think that will really help knock that stuff out. That's some of the best recommendations I've heard, is that you really need to crop the ground with, you know, most people would think corn and soybeans or something like that for 2 or 3 years to really get rid of the stuff. I'm going to try doing it with just some summer annuals. Now I went with the pearl millet because it does not have the prussic acid that the like sorghum Sudan grass and things like that have, so you don't have to worry about that. The issue I had, as you can see, I did not get a very good stand. This strip you see out through here, I had this all worked up, I had what I thought was enough seed, and my seeder was not set correctly at all. It opened up on me after I had set it. It cracked open a little bit, and I knew I was putting the seed out pretty heavy, but I did not realize I was putting it all out in this one strip. So then it took about a week to get some more seed. I put it on the rest of it. The first part got about a 1/4 inch of rain on it the night after I planted it. The rest of it has had very, very little rain. It's gone probably 2 weeks with no rain. We got just a little bit last night, I guess it was. I do have a sprinkler set up out there I did the other day. I'm gonna start trying to put some water on it, see if I can salvage it. But I don't know. It's not gonna be the good summer forage that I had hoped for, that I could put the rams on or something like that, and also a way to help cut down on this nimble wheel. But you gotta try something, and this is what I tried this year. I think it's a good idea. I'll probably do it again next year. I debated over trying to work this up and put it back in some fescue or something this fall, but I'm not sure that I will. I might sow it back in a winter annual, wheat or oats or something like that, and we'll see how that goes. Maybe a couple of years of putting some millet or something like that on it will get rid of this nimble wheel stuff, because this stuff is just awful. As you can see, anywhere that the sheep have congregated and kind of stayed, where I've had a feeder setting, things like that, that stuff has just taken over. And these boys, just like the rest of the sheep, they will not eat it. As you can see, they'd rather eat on, well, what around here we call hogweed. I think it might be called amaranth or something like that. They would rather eat that stuff than they would the nimble wheel. Now, one of the reasons I did fertilize this spring, of course I need the grass, but I was hoping that the fertilizing would give the fescue and the other grasses a good boost. The nimble wheel doesn't come on until the weather warms up a little bit later. So I was hoping to give that grass a good boost and get it up and shade out some of this nimble wheel. And that has had an effect. It has helped with that situation. But you really got to be careful about grazing very short, or that nimble wheel will just jump in there and take right over. I kind of apologize if the video here is not real good. I'm having to stay in the shade because it's so hot out here that when I get out in the sun, the camera shuts down. The camera gets too hot. So that was my plan for some summer pasture. A combination of summer pasture and weed control. So, like I say, it didn't work out quite like I had hoped this year. I got it planted too late, and now since we didn't get rain on this other part of it that didn't get seeded right, it's probably really not going to make much of anything. But I'll salvage what I can out of it, and we'll probably try again next year.